Let's face it, life isn't easy. If you're stuck in a bad relationship, betrayed or afraid of tomorrow, financially insecure, or desperate for a breakthrough, you've come to the right place. Dr. Carmen Harra is a renowned psychologist, intuitive, relationship expert, and best-selling author, and she's here to give you the miracle guidance you need. Her new call-in show, Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life, offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Dr. Harra's show aims to eliminate everyday problems, big and small, with topics like healing your relationships, reclaiming your power, achieving better health, dealing with loss, and so much more. Regain the joy, stability, and fulfillment you deserve to feel. Tune in to Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life with host Dr. Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and find the answers you've been looking for.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Carmen Harra with another episode of Miracle Guidance, the show that wants to offer you guidance to transform the way you think and indirectly transform your life. And I'm so excited to be here on OMTimes Radio tonight with Christopher, and we will take your calls because this is a calling show, so it is your show. So I want you to be part of the show by just simply calling 202-570-7057, and Christopher will put you in touch with me. And the topic tonight, I think it's a very interesting one that I love to talk about, this idea, how to get the one you love to commit. Because commitment is something we all crave. Like we all crave deep dedication and loyalty from the person we adore, we want to spend the rest of your life with. But why sometimes it's so hard to get that special one to reciprocate our love? So we're going to talk about different archetypes of people and how they envision the whole idea of commitment. Because commitment, as I said, is something we all want, and we long for a person who we can rely on day after day. And that's why we seek partnership, and that's why we get into a relationship. And a relationship is something that is supposed to make us feel complete. Is finding the other half that complete the will of life. Is finding somebody who will complement us, finding somebody who will make us feel protected, unhurt, entire, as complete as I said. But talking about commitment, each of us holds different beliefs about commitment. We hold on to these beliefs because we don't often consider why we have them. So I think that when we get married, we marry because we feel that strong attraction, that romance, that chemistry. We marry because we think the same way. And there are millions of reasons why we get married. Then at the end of the day, it's so interesting that we never ask each other what do we think about commitment, because we might have different opinion about it. As I said, what does commitment mean to you is one of the questions that we should ask our partner. And how do we define this word? It is essential that you understand what the notion entails for you before you understand what it means to another person. So what we're doing tonight, we're focusing on the commitment archetypes. So we're looking at different archetypes. So because and different archetypes of men, for instance, because some men, for instance, are dedicated themselves to one woman, and some men are committed to 3 women. Believe it or not, I used to counsel women from different parts of the world, women from Middle East, who were telling me with a smile on their face that they are the 4th wife, the 5th wife, and their husband is married to different other women. So consequently, let's say one day of the week, they will spend with them, and the other days of the week with the other wives, and they have like 20-something kids with all these different women. So it's hard to comprehend this type of thinking. But as I said, for some men, commitment means paying bills and not much else. So these unique definitions of commitment take shape when you're young, in your childhood. So whatever you witness at home forms the foundation of your values in life. So the man who has no problem having 3 different women at that point, this is what this is what he learned in his youth. Whatever happened when you're young will be at some point reflected, if it's not processed, reflected in your life later on. So as I said, everything in your life may be conditioned of the way you're growing up. So no matter your background, and regardless of whether you had a perfect childhood or you struggle in a broken home, we all grow up with views of relationship that are distorted in some way by circumstances, by our own understanding, by the way we process our own feelings and our own experiences. Like for instance, many people live with the belief, a lot of us women, we believe that we can change our partner, and no one can change anyone else. We can only change ourselves. We have a hard time believing this. So another assumption is that if we put pressure, we can get a man to commit. But pressure cannot do anything, can only make your partner resent you. So when you give your partner an ultimatum, that might end up by ending the relationship. So commitment must come from the free will, and free will alone. And no amount of convincing or begging will actually do it. So if there is any secret, when I think this way, I think if there is a secret to commitment, I will tell you the secret to commitment is this. You have to be with a person whose definition of commitment matches your own definition of commitment. It's okay if you both are alcoholic. If it's okay when you dedicate your life to the same idea. It's okay if you both committed to kids. But if each of you is committed to yourself before your partner, then it means at least it won't be any failed expectation. But if you committed to your partner while your partner is committed to other priorities, then the problem will start. So another big problem is that we don't examine our assumption about commitment before getting involved with another person. We enter into a relationship knowing what movies we like. Like if you go to Match.com, there's a lot of questions there. Okay, do you read the same books? Do you have the same feelings about this? So there's all these questionnaires that don't get you anywhere because they don't get to the heart of the bonding with one another. So then when the discrepancies arise, lifelong conditioning by our families, friends, the popular culture have led to unrealistic views of relationship and indirectly of commitment. So we must be careful not to let false expectation ruin our relationship, because at the end they only lead to disappointment. So I'm going to give you some, and then I'm going to take the call. So my wonderful people waiting online, I just want you to hold on the line a little bit longer. I'll be with you in a second. I just want to make sure that I'm making my point about commitment, because this is such a good topic. So Sherry from California, Dominguez, Lorette, Dana, I guess, Shirley from Florida. Hold on the line. I'll be with you in a minute. But I'm going to give you, and then after this, after taking your calls and after this break, I will talk about the archetype of commitment, so that we get into defining the different types of commitment. So you will understand who are you trying to commit to and in which way your partner views the commitment. But first of all, so let's make it clear. I'm going to give you these beliefs that will help you to consider in a relationship. Like, for instance, the first thing that I think is relevant in a relationship, the first one belief is that chemistry and romance will keep people together, which is in a way false, because chemistry and romance come and go. The excitement of sex wears off. Your opinions and your views of the world may go in opposite directions. So This might sound like negative, but it's a realistic scenario for a long-term relationship. So when you think of commitment, you have to take into consideration that there has to be something much more than chemistry and romance to keep us together. Number two, the second belief system is that we all have is that the man will provide, or the other person we commit to will provide. There are cases in which the women will provide. But that providing might go to a certain point because, let's say at some point your partner's source of money might not be there, or something will happen, or a man is never a financial plan, or a woman is never a financial plan. So think that way. I give you my own example. I was married 27 years, and my husband got cancer during the marriage, and we spent many years trying to fight this disease together. It affected our financial situation. But you can't go in a marriage by thinking that he will always provide. So that's a wrong belief. The third belief is that I can change the other person, which is false. You can never change nobody, as I said. The person wants to change himself. The other belief is that giving him a child will make our relationship better. Again, it's false, because bringing a child in a relationship may only complicate things, and might, as kids are a blessing, but might push the partner away if this is not coming in full agreement. Another belief is that things has to come from him. Like you always say, oh, my partner has to call, he needs to call, he needs to do this. No, you need to initiate things. This has to, between two partners, things have to be in a constant balance. Another belief is that you're okay the way you are. I'm hearing a lot of female friends that are telling me, I don't need to change anything. I'm great the way I am. He will love me the way I am. Yeah, I agree. But you know what? As your partner has personalities and things about him that you might, for instance, dislike. You yourself might have things about you that he might dislike. So why not to try to better yourself? My encouragement is for everybody who believes this way, go try to better yourself. Another belief is that, okay, if I am in a relationship, I'll complain, and if I start complaining and criticizing and making a big deal out of it, I'll get what I want. Wrong. You might get something what you want if you constantly complain, but you might, you must stand your ground and never whine about every little things, because at the end you lose. So I don't believe in go and complain all the time to get what you want. Another belief is you always say it will never happen to me. I'll be fine. I will never get sick. I'll never lose my money. I'll never divorce, until the day you do. So in life you have to be prepared. You have to have an understanding that the unpredictable might happen. And again, I don't want to sound negative. Just embrace this kind of belief. And the last one, I should say, another belief that we have when we get involved in a relationship is that, oh, I'm marrying him because he needs to be tall, he needs to be handsome, he needs to be rich. So, you want to find Prince Charming? Find him in a children's book, but certainly not much in a real life. There are beautiful cases in which you find a very good-looking man, and he also happens to be wealthy. He also happens to have manners. He also happens to treat you nice. But all of these qualities are hard to find. So my point is here, so that what are the emotional and psychological components keeping you from the commitment? So that's why I'm doing the show, and I'm going to go right now and take some of your calls, and then I will go ahead and talk much more about the archetypes, the type of individuals that we meet through life when it comes to commitment, and how you can distinguish one from another. And I know I have a little bit of time till the break, and I'm going to go to my first caller, Sherry from California. Hi, my Sherry. How are you, my dear?
Hi, Carmen. I'm great. How are you?
Well, I'm excited about this topic because I'm so passionate about talking about the concept of commitment from a different perspective. Not only the way the people look at it, that it has to be just chemistry and physical attraction and romance. So I'm trying to make people understand how deep this topic is. So how are you and how can I help you?
I'm great.
Great.
Last Friday I woke up and it seemed like something was really different in a good way, and I even out loud to myself, my life has really changed for the better.
Okay, was that like a deep feeling that you just had? Was like that awakening, that epiphany?
Yes.
Yeah. It happens in life when you have that feeling. Trust that feeling, because that's always true. There's something that gut feeling, that inner self that knows that you are about to achieve something that you always wanted, or you reach that moment of peace of mind and you close the door to something in your life that you don't need anymore, or you let go of something that you don't need, and it's a great sense of freedom. And I agree with you, and actually I feel that you're about to enter a different time of your life, like a different era. It happens to us, not that often, but it does happen. So the question is, what are you going to do with this? Yeah, what are you going to do with this awakening? Are you single?
Yes.
Yeah, it means that you bring somebody in your life, that you reach a stage of liberation in which you can finally bring somebody in. We have to be ready to be able to bring people in. And for people who are single, the statement is, okay, you are not ready yet. But I feel like in your case, and that's why I'm glad we're talking, you are ready. You wake up feeling ready. And I sense that in a week, in 3 weeks, in 3 months, right around the corner, somebody will come into your life who I think you meet without something being planned. I always like this kind of an experiences in which you don't go and research and make a tremendous effort to make it happen. So I think that you're about to meet somebody just simply going out at an event in a situation that is created out of the blue. And this is somebody who's around your age, who's very nice, who he will approach you. And talking about Mr. Charming, I really should say that you're lucky, because this man has a great charisma, a great charm. So hold on for me. I'll be back in a second, my dear, okay? I go to a short break.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organisation, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers, pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I am back, everybody, talking about the concept of commitment and how you can bring into your life the right person whose commitment idea matches yours. So I was talking to Sherry from California, so I'm going to back to you, Sherry. Are you still on the line?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
So any specific questions about this?
I'm just happy to know that it's going to happen. And
Right.
I guess I don't have com or anything.
I want you to participate in whichever way you can. There's nothing wrong about joining Match.com or joining any of this. That's fine. To me, it's more like a game, because it's very hard to find somebody. It's not impossible. It's possible. But because you want to do everything you can to make it happen, it's okay to do that too. But my sense is that that's not the way this person is going to come into your life. But at the end of the day, it's irrelevant how he's going to come. The relevancy is this the man who you will commit and he will commit to you, and what type of the guy he will be. Because in the show, I'm going to talk about the 6 archetype of man that you should learn much more about, so you understand, is this the man who I'll be able to get along with long terms? Is this what kind of a guy this is for me? Other than I'll feel the attraction and the chemistry, I'm going to rush to marry him. Or I think, okay, he's having a good job and that's good enough, Or he has, how should I say, a great present. You have to go beyond this. You have to go in the full psychology of the person. So, is this really a match for my type of thinking or not? So if you hold on to the show, or if you listen to the show later, or I'm going to put an article on Facebook about the archetypes of man, and you're going to find it so interesting that when you go and look for a person, you'll be able to identify what type of archetype. Is this somebody you will be able, to deal with or not? You understand what I mean? So that's very important. So thank you so much for calling. But I am super excited, and I want you to invite me to your wedding.
Oh, thanks, Carmen. Love you.
I love you more. Okay, my dear. I'm going to go to Domingas. Hi, my friend forever, Domingas. How are you, my dear?
I'm good. I was surprised. I didn't know you were coming to me. I got lucky.
You are my constant. You are so faithful. What I like about you is that honesty, and you're reliable. You're the kind of a woman that, if you connect to somebody, you have loyalty for that person. That's a great human quality. So I appreciate that about you. So tell me, how's everything with you? I kind of know what's going on with you, but I want you to update me and keep me informed about where you stand right now.
I feel blessed ever since I start listening to your show. It seems like my life is getting the right path. But my life path is also 7. I'm having a dream with my husband. I don't know if it's future or maybe I'm still too attached to him. So I'm wondering if I'm in the right track.
How is he right now with you? How is he with you?
It's better. We a lot better than almost 2 years ago. But it's still telling me no, that we're not gonna be together anymore. We have to divorce. But I'm having a lot of dreams. I don't know if it's past or future.
No, it's not.
I don't know if
your dreams are reflections sometimes of the future, are premonitory dreams. It depends what kind of a dreams you have. Dreams can be reflection of your own pain, of your own emotion, can be reflection of something that already happened and you're setting in motion. So it depends what kind of a dream you have, but they symbolize many things. Now, as long as the things are getting better, that's at a slow pace. So they're getting better very slowly, but that's an indication that you still have that connection. And I don't know who's influencing your husband, but I personally think that all of this is happening because of the wrong influences and the wrong thinking. Do you agree with me?
He's living at his mother's house, which I was
I
helping
feel
the
that
past
way. I hate
to qualify.
To say that.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but I feel like there's a very strong older female, like a mother figure that he always listened to. There are some men who listen to their mothers all their life, to the very end of their life. They'll always listen to whatever the mother knows best, that the mother knows. And if the mother is against someone, it doesn't matter. They married to a woman and have 5 kids. They will still listen to the mother at some point. So for some reason, I feel like he listens to that mother. I also feel there was somebody else around him, or he had an interest in another woman. I don't know if you agree with me. Do you?
I had seen that in the past, but he had told
in the past,
me
not now. Long time ago, a while back, when all of this, it also started with him having an interest. I didn't say anything that else, and I actually don't see in my mind, intuitively, I don't see your husband with anybody, and I also know this man will come back to you. And I feel like from now on to November or January, so if you've been waiting for a while, my advice is, like, I'm your friend and your counselor, I should say, hold on a little bit longer, because you're that kind of a person that have loyalty to the marriage and you want to hold on to this because you believe in it. And to your good surprise, this man will come back to you. That's definitely how I feel it. And I know it makes you good for your heart. Your soul, is very happy about this.
Yes, I think it's a dream come true, meeting somebody like you, by believing the gift of God and all those power.
Right. There's always a voice of reasoning. There's always something that is presented to us. There's always a reason you need to call. There's always a reason you need to express yourself. There's always a reason you get a certain answer that you need to process, you need to digest. And I really feel very confident that this is going to work out exactly the way it's meant to work, and it's going to be very good for you, because you're not the kind of a person to give up, and you really believe in this man, you really believe in this relationship. So I'm very confident that this, in the end, gets back to the way it should be, So I think this man is going to come back to you in full force. So hang in there, in other words, with the belief that this will be restored, with the belief that this is going to be good for you, and you will be indirectly finally rewarded for all your effort and your belief, that you put into it.
That's exactly how I dream with him. He's very alive, approaching me with the full force.
Right.
That's how I dream.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely. So I just want to tell you that I love you, Dominga. So keep on calling me and update me anytime you want on the radio. You are my loyal friend, and I appreciate your presence all the time.
Absolutely. We did together for many years.
Okay. Love you,
Thank
Dominga.
you. Many blessings for you too.
Thank you for listening to my music. I need to thank you on the radio, because that means the world to me. So
yes, I love it. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, my love, bye.
Bye.
So I'm gonna go all the way down to Romania, to Loredana, I guess. How are you, my Loredana?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you, Carmen?
I love you, my sweetheart. So you're not sleeping at, what is it, 3 a.m. in Europe?
Exactly.
You're still awake. I appreciate somebody who makes that kind of an effort to be awake at this time. So I need to know about you. I need to send you a lot of good energy, a big hug, to cross the ocean and go straight to you and give you a big hug, and thank you for being part of my show. And just tell me in which way I can help you. Which are your questions? What do you want to know? What are your concerns? So let's talk a little bit about you.
I was in a relationship for about 12 years. I've been single for almost 10 years now, and I was wondering if I'll ever going to find someone like good
It
for me.
looks like you find somebody who's brown hair, relatively tall, a little bit younger than you. When are you born? What's your birthday?
On the
When
30th
are
of
you?
August 1970.
August
30th of
30th?
August 1978.
19
Yeah,
what?
1978.
71? 78? Okay.
8.
Okay, just a minute. 78. You have a long life ahead of you. You're extremely creative, which I applaud you for. I want you to use more your creativity if you can. You're actually in a very creative year. You were meant to meet somebody 2 years ago. Did you meet anybody 2 years ago? Did that ever happen? Did you meet anybody? Yeah. You're in a time when somebody was supposed to come into your life. Yeah. One of the reasons you have a little bit of hard time meeting somebody is because you're a number 9. People that are number 9, they are all souls. They have a hard time connecting sometime. You know, this is what we think. Number 9s are the last life in a cycle of lives. I also see you with somebody who's either a number 9 like you or a number 1. I do see you with somebody who's actually born at the beginning of the year, either January, February. I see you with somebody who's a bit younger than you, 1 or 2 years younger. I should say that this man is around, born something 79, 80s, a little bit younger than you. He's never been married himself. He traveled a lot. He's a man who probably traveled all over Europe, or even, how should I say, traveled to Canada or other parts of the world. I have somebody who's been really, you know, on a lot of trips, and he has his family. Where do you live? In Bucharest? Where do you live in Romania? Which
no,
part of?
I live in London.
Oh, you live in London?
I live in London, but I'm in here.
Oh, okay. The only reason I'm asking you, because I feel like this man is born is Romanian too, but I feel he's born a different part of Romania than you are. Like it's in a different region of the country.
Did I met him?
I see an M and an R name, an M and R. M like Mark, R like Robert, Radu, Michael, Michelle, an M name, Michael, Mihai, Radu, something like that. These are the 2 names that come in my head when it comes to this man. Actually, the 2 initials that come. The name might not be fully. Sorry?
Did I already met this guy, or I will?
Do you know anybody like this? If I'm giving you this description with the details, my question to you is, do you know anybody like this?
Not really. And I haven't been in Romania for a long time.
Well, no, I don't think you meet him in Romania. I never said that. I said that he just happens to be Romanian like you, but I feel like you meeting him over there. You meet him in London. He might probably be there for a long time himself. But I'm not sure about the name. I only see the initial. I'm sure about him being a little bit younger than you. I'm sure about the time when he... So I'm giving you some... And I'm sure he's a relatively tall... and he has a great presence. Very smart, never been married before, doesn't have any complications. Do you want to have kids?
I wouldn't mind if I would find the right person.
Yeah, I feel like with this man you can have 1 child, which I think, in my opinion, can be a daughter. I won't be surprised if by in a year and something you'll even have a child with this man, because nowadays women have kids later after their 40s is very common. So there's a side of me that says it's very possible that this man will also be, not only be the right guy, but you will also build a family and even end up by having a child relatively soon. So my sense is this man is going to come into your life relatively soon. Let me know if from now on the fall, yes, you'll get married, and you will have a wedding. Is your family back in Romania?
Yeah.
So I feel like you're going to have, you're going to invite your family. It's going to be really great. I just want you to open your big eyes and look around you and let me know and keep me posted. And Feel free to call me. Feel free to send me emails or check me on Facebook. I do lives all the time. So let me know how you are. I want to be in touch. What did you say?
I'm watching all your lives. I'm watching you on Facebook, your live that you post on Facebook. I'm already watching them.
Okay,
I
my
already
angel.
sent you a few messages.
I so love you, and I want you to continue to be my friend on Facebook and be my friend on the radio. So let's celebrate you meeting this person. Okay, my angel. I love you. Thank you so much for calling me.
Thank you.
Bye, my sweetheart.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, love. Be well. Be well in London. Take care of yourself. Hi, Shirley from Florida. You my neighbor. Where in Florida are you, Shirley?
Hi, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, wow. I'm in Hollywood, Florida, so we're pretty much 5 hours away from each other. I wish I can jump and give you a hug, but I'm doing it through the radio. So how can I help you, my lovely Shirley? How can I help you? Thank you so much for listening to my show.
Thank you for having me. I have a quick question. So I was dating a guy actually in D.C., which is funny because that's where you host the radio. And we were dating for a while, and then I asked the question about commitment. And he said basically that he didn't want to commit. And I want to know if this is going to reverse back and we'll be together again, or maybe I'll find someone new who's
So did he give you a reason why because I want to talk to you about this because it's just the topic that I'm discussing right now. It's commitment. I'm so fascinated with this topic because a lot of people in the world today, they don't want to commit. It's almost like, people don't believe in weddings anymore, don't believe in commitment in the real sense of the word anymore. And I wish I could have enough time to... Okay, well, there's some archetype of men, and I'm publishing soon a book about this topic of commitment. So, but hold on, because I have a short break, and I'll be with you. Don't hang up. So bear with me another minute or so, okay? Hold on the line.
Okay.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Hello, I'm Lisa Berry. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for Light on Living. A chance to see new, hear different, and feel more as I shine the spotlight on all the ways to lighten the load of life's challenges. Light on Living is your link to that new way you're looking for, that new understanding that will enhance your life, and that positive connection that will support your growth. So join me, and you'll gain insight and start to see things in a new way that motivates you.
I am Fidel Nsombo. I was born in a city called the Bukavu in the Congo. We were a loving family, and then, boom, everything that I had disappeared in a single day. People think that when you are a refugee and they resettle you to America, and all your problems are done. They don't understand that that's the beginning of everything. I was not born a refugee. I was made one.
It's time we welcome refugee families with open arms. Learn more at embracerefugees.org, brought to you by the Ad Council.
I'm back on OMTime Radio with my wonderful producer Christopher and my lovely caller Shirley from Florida. So, yes, we were talking about this man, and he said to you, from what I'm understanding, that he does want to commit. Am I right?
He does not, yes.
He does not. Now, people who don't want to commit are called Mr. Independent, like the types of guys who celebrate their independence more than any kind of values of partnership. So he probably wanted to live on his own and on his own feet, and his independence was his main feature of life, and he had a problem, being with somebody in a committed relationship because of a million of reasons that probably you never had a chance to discuss. Did he ever explain to you why he doesn't want to commit?
Yes, he said he's not ready because he just got out of a divorce about a year ago, and that.
Oh, then I understand. If there is a divorce involved, then he's wounded. Then he's not only Mr. Independent, he's the wounded guy who needs time to heal, who's been hurt, who's been, how should I say, going through a rough experience. And then he doesn't know if he can do it again because he's afraid this is going to happen to him again. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So then I would to the wounded type of guy. The wounded type of guy is disconnect. There's a disconnect because he's inside world and the outside world, and he tends to isolate, and he doesn't think he can do it again, So he looked at the relationship with you like an escape. Do you understand? It's an escape, but he couldn't take it any further than an escape, like a journey, but not a real commitment. So this type of guy, he wants actually to commit, but he thinks he can. He needs to put himself together. I think actually I would give this guy the how should I say, the credit that he's gonna come back. I believe that this is going to work out at the end, and he might come back. How should I say, where is he right now? Is he still in touch with you or no?
No, he doesn't contact. We don't talk anymore.
For how long?
For about a week now.
Oh, that's not long. I thought a year or something. No, he will come around. Let's talk again on the show, because my intuition, talking intuitively, is like he's going to reach out to you. And I don't want you to pressure. I don't want you to reach out to him. Or if you reach out to him, you can just be very sweet and very nice and just wish him all the best without acting like demanding or asking anything from him. But I assume that he's going to reach out to you on his own if you put zero pressure on him. It doesn't work with this kind of a guy to put any kind of a pressure. But he has good intention, and he goes to extremes. You're going to see that. I think he's afraid. I think he's a little bit pessimistic. I think he's undecisive. I think he's sensitive. I think all of this about him. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Yes, I agree.
I think if you just take a step back and do nothing and let the universe show you if there's something you can do, I think you will be pleasantly surprised.
Okay, thank you so much for all your words. I appreciate you.
My lovely Shirley, call me again and let me know after he calls you where we stand. We can follow him step by step and see where we are in a week from now, in a month from now. Especially when he reaches out. It's how you handle this man. The key to bringing him... Actually, in fact, he's a good guy. Do you agree with me?
He is, yes.
I think you can have a good connection. If we're able to break through this wound and heal the wound and break through the wall right now, which I think is possible, I think we can make this happen. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, my lovely Shirley, I love you. I'm going to go to a very dear friend of mine, which is Michelle from Texas. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Carmen. I love you. Thanks for taking my call.
I love you more. I don't think you can imagine how much I love you.
Well, I just want to say thanks, because that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have, and is to have love and be loved. So thank you very much.
Yes. Especially if it comes, in a genuine way, So what's up with you?
Well,
tell me.
I have an awkward situation in my family. My dad is on the other side, and my mom and my sister live about 3 hours away from me. And my mom had started calling me in the spring of this year saying, well, she's been talking to me for years. She's 83-ish, and she's been talking to me for literally 4 years about, I need a will. And so I was trying to help her, and it's a very long story, but if I try to get to the bottom line, she called me and said, there's a will that's been written by my sister's husband, and she didn't like it. She didn't know if it was right. She was concerned about it.
It's not right. It's that will is really not right, and she knows it's not right. But she's hopeless. Okay. I suggest you help her here, and you help her not through your own perspective. If you can find an outsider that can do the will, because it's like the way has been done is an unfair will, completely unfair to you, and she knows that, and you don't want to be surprised by this will. She doesn't want to create something karmically wrong. I feel like your mother knows it's wrong. She doesn't know how to correct it, and she's involving you into it, which is a correct way to act, but you need an outsider. You know, sometimes a lawyer's office can do a will, you know, very easily can do it. And that's what I suggest. Like, get a lawyer that is not your lawyer, not your sister's lawyer, not your mother's lawyer, just an outside lawyer. And have that person do the will. And it's going to be done correctly, and it's going to be done in a fair way.
But there's trouble because I don't know if this is true or not. My mother's having memory issues, and so things are compounded.
Yes. That's what, when you said the word mother, I'm so sorry I didn't say that. The first thing that came in my head, because I connect with people in the energy field, and you detect right away if there's something wrong with that person, the first thing that came to me is that your mother starts to have a very severe Alzheimer's problem, and she's losing it. She's really losing it, and I hate to say that, but she's losing it very badly lately, and I don't want to sound dramatic or something. I just tell you, honest to God, I feel like you need to do this ASAP as long as the memory is still there at a certain degree, but I hate to say that, it's kind of going away relatively fast. So, and that's the sad part of the story is this. You're right. This is very wrong. Yeah.
But here's the thing. My sister actually had her husband, who is an attorney. They wrote a will. I actually didn't see my mom. I sat down with my mom. I spent literally 18 hours talking over 2 days. Okay. And then what happened was that my sister, I was like spelling things out. I really was trying to help her. She asked for my help. Well, then we made a change to her financial accounts that included me, and my sister got really upset. And,
here is the problem. The problem is your sister. The problem is your sister, and that's exactly what I told you. You don't let this be done by your sister. This has to be done by an outsider. Somebody who's not on your side or not your sister's side. Her husband is going to make it be in such a way that they are the one controlling it, and they will deprive you of something that is yours.
Well, I was on the line to talk to you last time, and I hung up because I was just going to listen, and I didn't know exactly what to ask, but you were talking to this other woman about a similar situation, and you told her that her dad was going to step in from the other side and make things right. And that was when I knew that I needed what I needed to talk to you about.
Well, your father is trying to help here. Actually, it's so funny. Your father tells me that there is a lawyer with the name Michael and with an H, an M and an H name. And then this is a middle-aged man, and somebody else will step to the place. The very moment you look for it, you're going to find him. And this man will do it right away. And you need an attorney who will, because if you on your own try to make something right here, you can. because you're dealing with
No,
your
I
sister
can't.
who's protected by an attorney who happens to be her husband. The worst scenario that you can possibly have.
Right.
This is the worst
Well,
scenario.
the thing is, I need to get something out here. So after I left, because I don't live in the same city, whatever the change was that we made to my mom's financial account, I was just going to log in and familiarize myself with the account.
Right.
And I got a message that I could not do that. And so I called the bank the next day, and they said, oh, no, there's a change that's been made to that account. So as soon as I left,
they made the change.
Of course,
yeah,
but okay,
absolutely.
let me tell you what happened for me. At that point, honestly, my heart slammed shut because I felt like I had been baited and switched, like my mom asks me for help. And then what was very unusual, and she does have this memory issue, and she had been telling me all of these things that were causing me to be very concerned and help her. And then when I found out that the changes had been made at the bank, I very cautiously called her and asked her, hey, do you remember doing this? And she was like, no, I don't remember that. And I said, well,
can you listen to me, Michelle? So listen, you are in a way a victim here, so is your mother, to your sister's husband. The one who's manipulating this is not so much your sister, believe me or not, it's her husband, who has the law on his side, who thinks he can turn it around, who will manipulate, who will take advantage of the fact that your mother has a memory problem. I hate to say it, but that's exactly what's happening. And you need to wake up and realize, I'm not going to let this happen, because my father is rolling on his grave, right now. My mother is losing it, so you can't, and this is exactly why you need your own attorney into it, or another attorney to step in to correct this. If you leave it up to your sister's husband, you, honey, will be deprived of it, and this is going to karmically go bad against your mother, who doesn't want to do it wrong, but she has no control over what she's doing anymore. So that's why you need somebody to protect you ASAP. I want you to have somebody right away on board on this situation.
Okay. All right. I hear you. Get a lawyer. I heard you. I got it.
Get it. And there's lawyers that are not super expensive when it comes to wills and that. There is a site. I'm going to think about it and eventually send you an email. And I still need to promote your site because I don't know what I did with the info, because I have like 6,000 emails in my email box. I'm so sorry.
Well, let's deal with one thing at a time.
Yeah, but right now your urgency is to correct this. And I really believe it can be done very easily. And I also feel intuitively the moment a lawyer will step to the place, you will be right away protected, and this guy is not going to cross the line. And the sooner you do it, the better, because as long as your mother still has some memory alive, they hoping for her to lose it completely, and that can happen, unfortunately,
So I actually have gotten afraid to speak up with my mom. My mom doesn't want to sever her relationship with my sister because my sister lives close to her and she knows that is
her poor soul. Poor soul, think of that. She's old, she knows her mind is not helping her. She feels lost. She relies on the sister. She knows this is wrong. She doesn't know any better. I really feel for her. She doesn't want to go on the other side by doing something wrong to you indirectly, And she sees this is wrong, She feels it. She sees it. It bothers her. I applaud your mother for reaching out to you.
Yeah, okay.
But the only person who's going to make it right is somebody who is legally on your side. You alone, you cannot make this right. You cannot.
Oh, no, I quit calling. I don't even want to call. I told them I felt orphaned. I did. I felt like I had been abandoned by my family.
The intention is not good. They don't see it as abandonment. They think that they are supposed to take advantage of this, and they're doing it with zero remorse. It's sad, but this is the thinking in the world today, and this is the way why we human, we're not progressing too much in this world. You know?
Okay, well, thanks so much, Carmen. I appreciate it.
I love you.
Lawyer. I love you too.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sweetheart. Thank you, Michelle. And resend me that info. So I know I'm coming to the end of the show, and I feel like I couldn't accomplish what I was supposed to talk to you about. Different archetypes of men when it comes to commitment, like the Mr. Independent, the narcissist, the hopeless romantic, the introvert, and so on and so forth. There's quite a number of archetypes that I wanted to talk to you because it's so interesting to be able to identify which one you're dealing with. Are you dealing with a workaholic? Are you dealing with a family man? And which are the characteristics of this type of people? I don't have time, but I'll do it next week. I'm Carmen Harra with Christopher on OMTime Radio. I'm sending you all my love, the best energy, and many blessings, and I'm grateful that you listen to the show. Thank you so much.